Hi, Davi here, and today we have a new episode in the Art Review series, and today we'll be checking out the work of Jan Weßbecher. And I've seen this guy before way back, but I guess I rediscovered their work. It was, well, let me just show you. This was the first one I saw, or this piece of their work, but this was years ago. I think this was posted 8 years ago. So this actually got me into their work. I'm not even sure if I found them on ArtStation. I think perhaps I found them on YouTube, or maybe I'm misremembering. And then days ago, I did find this piece. I do like their work because they're very good at drawing, I guess. Well, not I guess, but their draftsmanship skills is up there. But also, guys, they do share a lot of their breakdowns, meaning their step-by-step process. So we have the thumbnail over here. Let me just turn off my this one. Yeah, so we have the thumbnail here. We have the rough inks, right? And then they added the birds. Well, not the birds, but I'm not even sure what changed. But they did refine the bicycle or the motorbike a little bit, and then it just keeps going and going until they basically get it to this level of refinement. It's so cool to look at. Let me just see the full version, so we can zoom in. Look at that. It reminds me of some of the work of Kim Jung-gi. Whenever he does his brush sort of drawings. But obviously, I think, is it Jan or John? Oh, John can, I guess, go a little bit more deeper because they're doing inks. It looks like it's inked. Some of it is like a graphite sort of rendering. Think of Eleeza. I forgot her last name, Eleeza something. So in a way, they're kind of like a combination when it comes to this style, anyway, of Eleeza and Kim Jung-gi. I'm sure there are more artists that are similar to Jan over here, but look at that. And I like how some parts are still sort of sketchy, and it just feels more like a drawing, but it's not so sketchy that it looks unfinished or unpresentable. It's just... So I do like their portfolio because they do provide a significant amount of breakdowns. For example, let's look at the most recent one, which I do like. Just looking at their portfolio page here on ArtStation, they do have, I guess, way more drawings, meaning line work, than finished sort of paintings. And if they do render something or paint something, it's usually based in some kind of drawing they've done beforehand. I do like this one. I found this one. This is one of the more recent pieces. So this is the complete version. I think they do break this down eventually, but yeah, so they do like leaving in the line work. The coloring style is very comic-ish, because I do know Western types of comic artists. They do like coloring their pages or illustrations this way, where they do leave in the line work, but it's not just black and white. They obviously like adding a bit of color. It's still mostly flat, but when they do add color, it's like a cell shading rendering effect where it's like there's a look to it. There's sort of a flatness to it, but at the same time, it doesn't feel as flat, right? And I do see a little bit of texture brushes being used, especially in the corners over here in the Terminator lines. And I think it works well with the inks. A part of it feels like it's a bunch of flats. You see a bunch of paint overs on top when it comes to like the shadows or lighting. And then you also see on top of all of that is the line work. And it's not like they do leave in the line work as mostly black, I guess, for this character, but as it goes to the other interior parts of this like machine or this seat, I think the color does change a little bit according to the color close to it, maybe, but it's mostly dark and pretty much close to black. And obviously the idea itself, the conceptualization, it just looks so interesting. You want to know more, right? So let me just see the breakdown here. I will link this artist, by the way, in the description below. Let me see this. So this is a sketch, right? And I don't really, it feels more like a painting at this point, like a pastel painting. I'm not sure if they have videos somewhere, but so here's the line work. I think they did the line work after they've painted it in. Now, this one seems like a page out of a comic book, right? Let me just zoom in. I do see a little bit of texture somehow. There is some kind of paper texture, but it's not really relevant as much because you're going to be, I guess, painting over that eventually. So I guess you have this sketch, right? Because if you go back here, if we zoom in, can we zoom in? Right. Oh, even the pencil lines, they're pencil lines. You do see a little bit of texture in these sorts of strokes, and they're doing it at the same time, I guess, as the painting. Or maybe they do the pencil drawing first and then do some paint things underneath as a base, and then they do some paint overs on top, and then they go back and do the line work. Let me just show you right here. Look at this. Once they did the main final sketch, they'll do a layer where the ink work is way more refined. Oh, look at how the black inks here are really just focused on the main character and the thing or the head she's holding. So maybe that's why if you look at the final illustration over here, I think I already opened it somewhere, I'm not sure. This one, look at how the rest of the line work. It's less black as you go further away from the woman and the thing she's holding here, this kind of mecha Medusa looking head. So I do recommend, because there is a bit of diversity, I guess, when it comes to their style. For example, this one, it's more of a painting, I guess, because I don't see line work. It's like a gouache. Oh, I do like the textures. It's like a gouache painting. Look at how creative these things are. So they did limit their palette to black and yellow. I think it's a cool sort of combination, by the way. Look at that. Reminds me a little bit of some of the sketches of Hugh. Heu. Something. They do have some sketches that look like this. But look at that, right? Very gouache-like. There is some line work, but it's more like pencil. Look at that. And you can explore a lot of designs this way because you're not wasting time rendering stuff. Like the way it's painted, it seems very flat. Just think of any sort of traditional gouache painting. I think it saves a lot of time, and you can explore so many ideas this way and still achieve something that looks pretty good. There's also another artist on YouTube, Kuzunine something. It's at Kuzunine. Hopefully I'm saying the tag name right, but they do have a similar way of painting where it's very direct and there's hardly any sort of shading. It's more, it has a gouache-like approach where everything's sort of flat like this. Let me just zoom in because I want to look at, those textures look so freaking nice. Look at that. Right? And if they like something, they can do this. Where is it? They can do this. They can do expand the image, and then they'll do the more refined line work. So you can always just rework, redevelop these sorts of things eventually, if you want to. For example, this one, I think they redid this or redid some of the parts here. If it goes, I think it's this one. It's the same sort of pose, but sorry, this one's a little more defined, right? So let me just close a few tabs here because I think oh shit, look at this. It looks so freaking cool. It makes you want to draw. Look at that. Oh my god. And there is a base layer of gray. The pages are not just full white. So it looks like natural paper too. And this one, the clouds, I guess in the background, they look like coffee spills for some reason. They have a bit of that brownish sort of tone. Even the pose looks so nice. So, the dog, obviously these two chicks. Well, this one definitely. I think I'm not exactly sure what she's doing. Maybe she's like a mechanic. But anyway, look at the reflections here. The broken glass. The textures are well done too. Even this sort of brand-like thing going on here. The tattoo. Oh my god. It's so nice to look at, right? So let me just close more of these because let me just look at some more. There we go. So these ones, I do think they have a Patreon. They do link it, I guess. I will link their art station. Like, it's right here. Patreon.com/Celsius Prime. Pretty cool name. I do like how they show their sketches because it really is, I guess, the foundation of a lot of like paintings or full illustrations is A lot of the best artists just have a lot of sketches. This is where you figure things out, develop stories, develop your style. But not just that, it's a place for you to make mistakes, right? This is where you can have the freedom to make errors. Get it? Because there's a word error there. And they're very experimental too with the colors. I think it makes the sketching process much more fun when you play with the color of the inks, the color of the flats. Oh, and something is going on here. Oh, stop. Let's see some more. Look at oh, what is this? This one seems more developed. I am more fascinated by the sketches, so I'm gonna be focusing more on that. So do check out their Patreon because apparently there's way more, or this is very heavily done in their Patreon, and they're sharing some of that in ArtStation. Look at that. I like their sketches. And the accent colors they use here and there. For example, this one is gonna be yellow. This one is the blue hair, right? And I guess their style is very fixed, or not fixed, but it's adapt, or it fits comics rather. But what's cool is they can also push that further into something like this, which is still comic-ish, but and even this to an extent. But they have paintings like this. Is this a painting or 3D? I'm not even sure. Let me just check. Oh, they're using Blender and Photoshop. So I'm guessing the base is Blender, 3D base, and then they fix it up in Photoshop. So they're a well-rounded artist. They're not just doing drawings. They have a little bit of a 3D background, but this one's nice, grayscale. So we have some. Oh, this one was posted 9 years ago, but Jesus, it still looks kind of good, right? Look at that. This one reminds me of Juma Bev, something. So this one is more concept art-ish, right? The environments, the thumbnails. But even back then, they were already spending a significant portion of their time drawing. And when they do decide to paint something, it still looks. I saw something that you weren't supposed to see. But let me just see this. So mock book covers, interesting, for their Celsius project. Or I'm not even sure what that means. Maybe it's a personal sort of brand thing. Let me just check this one out. Look at that. Same sort of style. Look at how sort of loose it is. Check out the line work of Eleeza. They have the same flow where it's sort of watery, fluid. And this one has a little bit of hatching. Oh god, reminds me of the line work of Sutunzi. Is it Sutunzi? I'm forgetting now, but there you go. I love that rough look. Oh shit, they have mechanical feet too. A coat. Well, I don't even want to stop. Focus. There you go. Let's check this one out. I think I haven't seen this yet. Again, changing the line colors. Very fun to look at, right? Adding flat color to define the silhouette. Are they doing this in one go? Maybe, perhaps. Oh, I like this one. 5 layers. Guess that's enough. Hopefully. Look at that. Right? It's so fun. So when it comes to sketching, I think this Jan Weßbecher is definitely someone to pay attention to. I do like this one. Oh, let me just check this one out. Excuse me. Because I do see lots of colors. Look at it's very impressionistic. I do like this one. Where it's kind of wild and just crazy, but they're not super concerned with fixing the edges. It just, like everything is just laid out. Right? Look at the confidence there. Oh God. So we have more sketches. So lots of interesting character designs, exploring narrative art as well, telling stories. Or I guess sequential art, like comics. Look at this. Quite regal. Look at the line work. Very confident, right? And the line work isn't even that tight, but you can get the design. There's no question. Just get it at first glance. And I think that's what makes a good sketch. If you can just get it in first glance, even if it's not totally finished, it works. Oh, let me just see this one. Oh, so I guess Celsius is more of their project, maybe, or the project. Look at that, and they're showing their development stuff on Patreon. The WIP, work in progress, sort of things. So again, this one's my favorite. This one was years ago, but also this one, the black and white. So yeah, I guess that's it for this art review of Jan Weßbecher. Hopefully you enjoy their work. I'll try to find artists who are similar to Jan, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!